Working from home means every day is bring your kid to work day. And if you don't have the right tools and mindset to balance work and family responsibilities, you may end up throwing in the towel. Black Moth Radio gives you the upper hand in starting and managing your ideal lifestyle while creating your own business, doing what you do best, and doing it from home. So, grab the nearest ink pen and prepare to take notes, because this show is packed with discoveries, tips, and experiences to help you through your journey. Let's begin with our host, Robin Bull.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts on Black Moth Radio. My name is Robin Bull, and this is the podcast where every day is Bring Your Kid to Work Day, and where we try to make working from home work for you. I am joined by my moderately tiny co-host who is homesick from school today, my first grader, Uriel Bull. So there's a pretty good chance that you'll hear him in the background. I thought what we would talk about today, which is, by the way, November 2nd, 2017, I thought we would go over some of the highlights for the Freelancing in America Survey 2017. Apparently it was released a couple of weeks ago. Of course, it was put together between Freelancers Union and Upwork, and although it came out in mid-October, I had no idea. Like, none. I saw it today when I went to Freelancer Union's Facebook page. And, yeah, there it was, and it was dated for October. So, I don't know, I probably just missed the announcement. It was a really good study. If you want to go and download the full study, which they have available for you in a PDF, you can head on over to confessionsfromthecouch.com and look for the Freelancing in America 2017 is out post. It is, of course, dated for today, November 2nd, 2017. And so I thought what we would do today is talk about some of the highlights from the survey. I was actually part of the survey. So we'll go ahead and just jump right in. More than 57.3 million people freelanced in 2017. The survey predicts that most workers will be freelancers by 2017. Now, I actually doubt that that's going to happen. I actually came across an opinion article on NBC News. It's from October 27th, 2017, and it's entitled, "I let my staff work from home and then realized it wasn't working. Letting employees work remote isn't the wave of the future. It's a failed experiment of the past." And so if you find that and you go through and read it, the issue ends up being that he didn't set clear ground rules at the end of the day with what he really needed done. So it ended up being an issue with miscommunication, and he didn't like the fact that he couldn't necessarily control when people were working when they worked from home. And that's actually one of the benefits of working from home, of course, is being able to do what you need to do. So I don't think that the majority of freelancers, that most workers will be freelancers by 2017, and part of it is because of people like that, and I also think that not everyone has the skill set or the self-discipline to work from home. In fact, last week I recorded, and it is available here on Black Moth Radio, I actually recorded some mindset training for people who want to work from home, because it's not easy. A lot of people fall into that mindset of I can do it later, or, people tell them they can do it later, and then later doesn't come, or they're so tired because they've done everything else in a day that they just do not feel like working. So, moving on to the next highlight, 47% of millennials are freelancers. Now, before you pop off something about the fact that 47% of millennials are freelancing because, you think they're lazy or some other ridiculous bullshit, consider the following three things. I'm not a millennial. I'm part of the 53% not mentioned there. I work from home. Although what I do is commonly referred to as freelancing, I don't like the term, and I'll explain why pretty soon. I'm almost 40. I have 3 sons. One is an adult, one is 17, and my 8-year-old has special needs. Freelancing isn't about being lazy, regardless of age. It's about being able to attend to certain obligations. if you go over to confessionsfromthecouch.com, you can read about a day in my life. And you'll learn pretty quick. It's not about laziness. It's about learning how to balance various demands in my life. So millennials, I'm a mother of them. They can have perfectly legitimate reasons that they want to freelance. It's not just because you think they're lazy. And number two, if you're saying that millennials are lazy, you're saying the same thing that people said about my generation, which is Generation X. You're saying the same thing that people said about baby boomers and every other young person when the driving force was the prominent older generation. So congratulations. You're doing what you said you'd never do. You're judging someone strictly by their age and their partial inexperience in life. And I only say inexperience in life because they're younger, not because they've not experienced life. I know people who are young that have loads of life experience, both good and bad. So you're doing what you said you'd never do. Congratulations, you're an asshole. And my son found that hilarious. Number 3, people hate or they're afraid of something they don't understand or something they think they can't do. So you need to make sure that your irrational feelings of something that has little to no effect on you isn't a real indicator of you throwing your hopes and dreams into the garbage, so you're jealous of them. So you really need to kind of check in with yourself, and if that last one offended you, then it's most likely true. Moving on. I'm laughing at my son. Freelancers contributed around $1.4 trillion to the economy in the last year. And yes, just for the record, we do pay taxes. In fact, many freelancers end up paying more in taxes because they don't get proper guidance on business formation and, well, taxes. On average, freelancers work with 4.5 clients each month. 71% of freelancers state that thanks to technology, they've had the opportunity to get more work over the last year. And we all need to understand that technology is one of the main reasons we're able to do what we do and able to do it successfully. That I wouldn't be able to share this podcast, although the podcast is a hobby. I wouldn't be able to share this podcast nearly as easily, even if it were still, say, 2000 or 2005. The options were there. It just wasn't as easy. And in the 90s, before the internet was a big thing that most people had access to, working from home still existed, but it just wasn't as prevalent. I remember when I was enrolled in a mail order course, and I completed it from the time I was 18, or no, I might have been 17, but I was real close to 18. Finished it about the time I turned 18 and a half, maybe 19 years old. To become a medical transcriptionist, and I was able to work from home from that. But it was a lot harder then, obviously, to find people who were willing to let me do that, and I had to start with the doctors that were just like in my area, and then I expanded to lawyers and started doing some legal transcription work and transcribing phone conversations and things of that nature. But now that we have access to the internet and we have email and we have almost this constant ability not just to communicate, but to pretty much learn anything you want to learn. You can make a work from home career out of almost anything you want. So I'm really grateful for this sort of technology, and I am glad to be part of the 53%, along with the 47% of millennials that are kind of blazing this path to make working from home or freelancing more acceptable for people. I think it would be great if my children or my grandchildren in the future had this ability to work fully from home so that they could go out and enjoy life a little bit. Moving on. 49% of freelancers wish that the term gig economy would be called freelance economy. 25% wish it would be called an on-demand economy. 13% wish it were called the sharing economy. 10% of freelancers surveyed like the term gig economy. And 3% of us chose other. I was an other. I hate. Did I mention I hate the term freelance? I also don't like using the term gig when I'm talking about my work or my clients. I've worked from home for a few years, And in the beginning, I was excited to tell people that I was a freelance writer or an editor, but, the response was generally, oh, so you're looking for a real job? You're between real jobs? Or they'd ask rude questions like, what do you get paid? Shit that you don't generally ask someone that works in a traditional environment. So I don't tell people that I freelance anymore. I just tell them I'm self-employed or that I own a business, something like that. And I go from there. When I'm feeling snarky, which is quite often, people ask me what I do for a living. Depending on what I think of their attitude in general, if I've watched them interact with someone else, if they seem dismissive of other people even before I interact with them, my answer to what do you do for a living is going to be whatever in the hell I want. Like, that's the answer. What do you do for a living? Whatever I want. So, So I don't like the term freelance. If you're listening to this and you freelance and you're running into that, just stop using the term freelance. Just tell people that you own a small business. And then answer from there. If they're like, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, well, I develop web apps, or I copyright for businesses, or whatever it is that you do. If you avoid certain terms, you just give yourself a much easier life. Because there are some people you just can't explain these things to. I don't like referring to it as a gig. Most of my clients are long-term. I have some clients I've worked with for 3 years. So to me, it's not just a gig. I think of a gig as something I'm just doing to get by. And it's already hard enough to get people to understand that working from home is real work, especially if you have a family to balance on top of it, or even just pets. It's not easy. So I choose to make my life easier by answering these questions in a different way. Top drivers of freelancing include freedom, flexibility, and earning extra money. Top barriers to freelancing include income predictability, finding work, and of course benefits. So what I would say here, over time you do learn how to predict your income a little bit better, but I would also say, and I say this to everyone, you certainly don't want to quit a full-time job and just jump into freelancing when you have bills due at the end of the month. Make sure that you have enough money saved up to pay bills, or you do what I did and you start your business while you're working. And yeah, I know people bitch about that because they're tired. They don't want to put in the extra work. And well, it's about priorities. You have to make the decision about what you want to do in your life. And then finding work, it's out there. You do have to learn how to distinguish between a scam and a legitimate opportunity. And you also have to do your homework to make sure that you understand pricing, and that A, you're going to make enough money to support your family, and B, you're competitive in the market. So you want to do your homework on people who have been doing this work for a while, find out what they charge so that you know what you should be charging to. And with benefits, there are benefits out there. No, they are not provided by your clients. There are work from home opportunities out there that make you an actual employee. If that's what you're looking for, you should probably go over to Flex Jobs or something and access their database. They list work from home jobs from places like American Express, U-Haul. I saw United Health Group on there at one point. No idea if they're still there. But then you become an employee instead of just a contractor. And something that other people do is they work in the cost of paying for their own benefits, be it life insurance, health insurance, their retirement plan, whatever. They basically work that into the price of their services so that, they can cover it. So there are ways. You just have to do enough research to learn how to overcome the barrier that's most affecting you. And then finally, over half of freelancers surveyed reskill. That means they learn new skills in order to keep up with the change in demands. And this is important because you see a lot of stuff out there about artificial intelligence, robots taking over jobs, things of that nature. The thing about there's always going to be something out there that they need people to do. Because there is a real factor that people often overlook that's important, and that is the human experience in a lot of this. And so you need to be ready to deal with that, and you also have to be aware of coming trends in general. One of the reasons why I got into SEO and continue to improve my SEO skills is because it's important to clients, and I don't want them choosing someone else because they have better skills than I do when I have the ability to go out there and learn this stuff. So that is Freelancing in America 2017, just the highlights. You can go over to Freelancers Union. You can go to their website, or you can go to their Facebook page to pick up the download of the PDF. Of course, I use Upwork. Upwork helped with the survey, and I really think, if you're looking to get into freelancing, I personally think, and they've not given me anything to get me to say this, obviously, but I personally think that Upworking, turn them into a verb. Upwork is definitely the way to go. It's the way to start. It is so easy to get started, but generally where people fall off is they think they should be able to find work their very first day before they even finish their profile, and it doesn't work that way. You really, really have to work hard, and of course put your best foot out there. So make sure that you're following me on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/TheRobinBull, Twitter.com/TheRobinBull, Instagram, same name. Check out ConfessionsFromTheCouch.com. If you have a work from home confession, it can be good, it can be bad, it can be ugly, but it's always going to be posted anonymously. You can click the link at the top of ConfessionsFromTheCouch.com. It says confessional, and that will take you to a form that you can fill out and send in your confession. So make sure you check us out there. And yeah, we've got a little over 1,500 followers, and you certainly don't want to miss anything from that. So until next time, thanks for listening.
Hopefully, you're walking away from this podcast with a plan to implement the tips you've heard, a great attitude, and you subscribe to Black Moth Radio to ensure that you never miss any of the goods. Whether you're a hopeful work-from-home freelancer or you're well settled into your work-from-home lifestyle, we hope you've learned something that you can use. If you're ready to more about the work-from-home lifestyle, check out sellfy.com/TheRobinBull. Questions, comments? Let Robin know by going to facebook.com/TheRobinBull or confessionsfromthecouch.com. Thanks for listening. Join us next time and keep learning.